Hi everyone, I'm Scott. Welcome back to my series. Biggest summer movie ever? Or biggest movie summer ever? Right, biggest movie summer ever. I'm gonna make sure I get that right. My series on previous summer movie seasons, the biggest ones, which ones were the most influential, that had the biggest impact and what have you. This is Mia, as in Mia Wallace from Pulp Fiction. No, I don't think she's actually named after Mia Wallace. But she's a cat that I live with, and she's right there, and she's probably got her head out of the frame because I framed the window out of the shot. Anyway, she's hanging out with us today as we are talking about the summer of 1993, which is a huge, massive summer movie season. Top of the list right there, Jurassic Park, The Fugitive, and Sleepless in Seattle. Three big movies that everyone went to see, that everyone was talking about, and most everyone liked. Jurassic Park, of course, was the movie that brought lifelike CGI dinosaurs to the screen, and along with the T-1000 from Terminator 2 is a standard bearer for visual effects of the 1990s. On top of that, it's also a really fun movie. It's exciting. There's lots of good scares in it, or at least startling moments. One of the first movies to use face replacement. There is a scene in which the young girl played by, I can't remember the name of the actress, she's in the Tremor movies. Anyway, she is crawling through a empty space above the ceiling, and she falls, and she's hanging on by her fingertips as a dinosaur is, below and about to kill her. And when she looks up briefly, it's actually a stunt woman. So they replace the stunt woman's face with the face of the young actress who plays the character. One of the first times that's ever been done. All along with, of course, all the CGI dinosaurs, which are very impressive, especially at the nighttime scene when it rains and you see the water glistening off its skin. That's really exciting too. Of course, as I mentioned, Spielberg directed it. He also directed the sequel, The Lost World, 4 years later. The stars are Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill, who were in some of the sequels. Yeah, I went to see that movie a bunch of times. Also, The Fugitive, also very big. Went to see that a few times as well. Harrison Ford getting hunted down. He's been wrongly accused of killing his wife. He's escaped from custody. He's trying to figure out who the real killer is while Tommy Lee Jones hunts him down. Everybody loves this movie. I think it's really good too. It's lots of fun. And Sleepless in Seattle, of course, is like the rom-com that kind of snatched away the crown from When Harry Met Sally. Has been like, the big rom-com. Everyone talks about Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, how great of a couple they were on screen. They're hardly in the movie together. They only get together in the very last scene. I'm not a really big fan of Sleepless in Seattle, but a lot of people really like it, I guess. What else came out? Now here's something interesting. We have three big flops right here. Three really big, massive disappointments. I should mention Cliffhanger, because Cliffhanger was a hit, certainly, even though I hated it. But I do have to recognize the fact that it spawned one of the very best movie trailers in history. And I will put a link to that below if you haven't seen before. Check out the trailer to Cliffhanger. It's just really great. Last Action Hero. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a big flop, big disappointment. People didn't really like the movie all that much at the time, and it was, not a success. It's the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger plays a movie star who plays a character named Jack Slater in a series of movies called, I can't remember. I think they're just called Jack Slater, actually. But what happens is he meets a kid that has a magic ticket that allows the kid to enter the movie itself. So the kid's running around inside the movie within the movie while Jack Slater tries to stop the bad guys. That's what it's about. I was really excited to see that movie and walked away very disappointed by how sloppy it was. They had a really short shooting schedule in order to get out for summer. Which is probably why it looks the way it does. Super Mario Brothers, huge bomb, gave video game movies a bad name if it didn't have one already, and video game movies just have not recovered from that. The Resident Evil movies have been pretty successful, but they're not widely admired, especially the last couple. But it was, kind of a disaster. And then Sliver. Sliver came out that summer. It was Sharon Stone's follow-up to Basic Instinct. that made her like a huge star. So this was her playing the main character in a movie, and it didn't go well. It wasn't a very well liked movie. One movie that actually developed kind of a strange following that continues to this day is a movie called Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is a kids movie, a comedy about Salem witches that are accidentally resurrected in the modern day. They're played by Bette Midler, Kathleen Najimy from Sister Act, and Sarah Jessica Parker. And they cause havoc for the town and the main characters, who are a brother and sister that are running around trying to figure out a way to stop them. This movie, you know, didn't make much of an impact when it came out, and critics didn't like it that much, but it gets played on TV every single Halloween season, every single October. Hocus Pocus is on TV constantly. It's strange, the kinds of movies that end up getting a cult following, or just people wanting to watch it repeatedly year after year after year. You know, Hocus Pocus of all things is just odd, you know. Not Casper with Christina Ricci and the CGI Casper and Bill Pullman, but Hocus Pocus with all its really cheap, shoddy looking effects. I don't know. I've never seen it. I've never seen the movie. Have no plans to. Maybe one day I'll give it a chance, but I recently just checked out the sequel to Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans, the sequel that came out in 2007 with Lawrence Fishburne doing the voice of the Silver Surfer. And I think if I was 10 years old, I'd really, really like it, but it's super, super, super cheesy. Anyway, that's 1993. In a nutshell, 1993 was a massive, massive blockbuster year for movies. Of course, a whole bunch of stuff came out in the summer besides those, but those were like the really significant ones. The biggest hits, the biggest bombs, and that one cult movie that just came out of kind of nowhere. So thank you very much for watching. I will have another video tomorrow on the very, very next summer, which is 1994. Big summer, big movies. Not quite as big as 1993, but still pretty big. I'll see you then. And if you'd like to take a look at my Facebook, link to that's below, as well as that Cliffhanger trailer if you're interested. Take it easy.